Ready? Who's ready for some? Let's go outside. Some boom, baby, boom. Rise and shine. Even on a cloudy day, there's still some rain. There's still that fresh air smell. There's still people walking their dogs and living their lives, and this is a safe place for my mind. I literally just booked this Airbnb. I'm sharing the apartment with a nice lady. She has a clean house. I mean, literally, there's nothing. I mean, there's not even we got one chair. We got one chair, you know what I mean? But that's not what I care about. What I care about is how clean it is, how safe it is, how calm I feel inside. Very demure, very happy, very not sleepy. What is it? Where do you call it when you get sleep? I finally am calming it down. You know what I mean? And in life, shit, we all know our brain can be a war zone. And that's what I was talking about yesterday. Let me roll up this morning motivation, but it's true. You know, it's not easy to be alone in your mind or alone at home. I'm home alone right now too, but the possibilities of us, that's not a bad little room either. Look at your boy living this high life. And if it wasn't for my business, I wouldn't be able to afford this. You know, staying at my friends' places, they're not so clean, they're lazy, and they're not there mentally. So it's like a habit, right? It's like anything that we do, we're gonna double down on it. We're gonna either make our brains feel like our decisions are correct, which is part of denial. You know, all we want to do is just feel a certain way. And as long as it feels a certain way, then you're acting like a woman. It's not logical, it's not rational. I just want to feel that way. And it won't last. This is the worst part about addictions, is that we go in trying to alleviate the pain, but it doesn't last. And that's unfortunate because maybe it's part of the plan, you know, that we don't get to escape our reality. We might take breaks, we might experience lulls. You know what I mean? We might experience pain, but there's no one escaping the game. There is no planet B. There's nobody that gets to leave and disappear. We like to disassociate. That's what most of the drugs do. But making our mind a safe place means we're not at war with ourselves. You know, and that's one of the hardest wars, because you'll feel like situations are coming your way, right? Instead of calling them blessings or lessons, we call them trials and tribulations. We whine about them. We go like, "Oh, did you see what God just did to us, man?" You know, and in that whining, we didn't have appreciation. We didn't appreciate anything else that's around us, so we just rain on the sun instead of letting the sun shine. We'll talk the sunset down, like the other guy I was in the park with the other day. I was like, bro, get out of my sunlight, man. You can't stop my shine. I see what you're doing, man. I see what you're doing. You're a gangster, huh? And I was like, no, I'm just a man on a bench trying to enjoy the sunset, and you just standing in front of it. This is the difference between the mindset. One was being aggressive and had coke in his pocket. The other one was chilling with a smile on his face, enjoying the sunset. I'll let you know which one's me. Slavery. Money, slavery. And I'm just grateful that I'm not a slave to my brain. I'm not a slave to the money. I'm not a slave to anything. I get to enjoy my days completely whole and as much as I possibly can. And I suggest you do too. That's what I told the dude. You know, I said, you should enjoy yourself too. Over here worried about what I do or what I'm saying or what I'm wearing or how I'm acting. How about you worry about yourself? You know, it's so easy to go around and complain about somebody else. You know, it's so easy to point out someone else's flaws and be like, yeah, man, why don't you do more sit-ups? Why don't you do more sit-ups? You know, my friend's like, I see you brought your bag. And I was like, bro, I've been working out. I feel great actually inside. You know, if you don't want to see it, it's never enough for the other people. It's their external view that makes it not safe for them. And the way that they play it in their mind, everybody knows because it comes out sideways. You're like, oh, that's what type of person they are. They're a complainer, or they're lazy, or they're uninitiated. Why are you still stuck to my finger like that? Come on, don't be a little bitch. Come on now. I'm having this conversation with a stick right now instead of on my live. Got to concentrate on your life. I'm going to put some passion here too. You got to concentrate on what your mind is programming the rest of your body to do. Is it in a state of homeostasis, or is it in a stress state where it's always constantly running from situation to situation, thought to thought, reaction to reaction, completely juiced up on feelings? And that's what most of us do. Straight up, gonna be honest with you, most of us operate that way. Oh, what do I feel like eating this morning? That's exactly how we say it too. What do I feel like eating, instead of what do I think I want to eat, right? And most girls, I feel like the reports are it's like, not what do you feel? What do you think? And then what kind of way that person is operating on, right? Are they operating on the level of let's get shit done? Or are they operating on the level of let's drill holes in your canoe and make things worse for you? Most of us, that's what emotions do. They never get satisfied and they never get satiated. They only get felt. And in that moment, we decide to binge on emotions in the now instead of fixate on the appreciations and glorify our gratitude. We'll go, what's our mood like? What do I feel? How do I want to feel is what we really should be asking. But instead, it's like, no, world, you tell me. Okay, if it's the right TV channel, if it's the right purse, if I buy the right shirt, then everything in my life's gonna be all right. Instead of me telling myself I'm all right, I'm safe, I'm sound, I love my life. Like I'm putting in the effort. I've surprised myself with different outcomes. What a blessing that would be to surprise yourself. And that's what accomplishment feels like. You already had it in your head, but to bring it into real life, bro, stop it, please start your life. Please start to see that you can do things that are possible. Yesterday, I was on the phone for a good hour about Intersect.ai, and I was just like, I can believe in myself. I can believe I'm a CEO. I can believe that this is happening. Don't self-sabotage. Don't be the type of guy that doesn't believe. Be the guy that does believe and put some energy behind his belief. It's a different type of mental output. Most of us don't want to hear it, but it's true. The only one listening to you is you. And when you listen to yourself, truly listen to yourself, you can see yourself go hiding from emotions, burying them, making your mind full of fucking landmines. You can't even land your mind because it's full of mines. Yeah, that's not the way to operate. That's not how a person that really has arrived in their mind and in their body and their soul. They're not over there transmutating their thoughts and manipulating their outside world. They're not trying to deny themselves of the awareness. That's the biggest thing you can do. What my sister would do with her kids, she would say, raise your awareness. And that's like the best advice you can give a kid, not be careful, and there's no such thing as careful. I used to say, well, what do you want me to do? Nerf the world? Yeah, be careful out there while you travel. Like, I can't stop the robbers. I can't stop the fucking cops. I can't stop the bullshit that happens in life. But what I can be is aware. What I should have been, woulda, shoulda, coulda, aware of the South Korean weed laws, had no clue. Just happened to me. Well, it could happen to you. It can happen to anybody, bro. And that's the plan, is to sit here that anybody can be anybody, but a safe place in their own mind. That's what I'm trying to accomplish. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get into some safe zones so I can catch up on my sleep, catch up on my exercise, catch up on my business, and feel complete inside. I'm really doing this damn thing as I touch the nature. Retirement plan, baby. And it's expanded. It's like I'm trying to transcribe what has happened to me to other people that don't know me, right? Like, it's like hard to say what you're saying inside your mind because it's such a fast track. It's almost like electricity. It's almost like ketamine. When I was saying you have this feeling, this thought, and it runs both ways. You know what I'm saying? Let's get in this. everybody has a house, you know, there's a house inside everyone's brain. And where that light goes is our subconsciousness. And I know a lot of people don't talk about subconsciousness. They talk about decision. They talk about driven. And I would talk about that forever. Like I had to pound sand to get the pounding to happen. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Let's bless up, shall we? Join We Club. But that's not what it is. It's not. I have to beat myself into submission. It's not a baptism. It's a belief. And it's a deep down belief. It's like something that you can only say happens in religion. Or sometimes when you're just out into the life. There's so many kids out there. I can hear them having the time of their lives, bro. Let me see if I can go over here and get a little quieter. Yeah, this will work right here. And that's all I do. I quiet my mind. I steady my consciousness. I double down on effectiveness. If my brain is scattered and I'm running to and fro from my consciousness, then I am not conscious of what I'm doing to my body. The vibration, the sensation, the chemicals that start to happen when you get emotional, yeah, all that starts pumping in your system, and then you chose it. That's the worst part. We get on a cycle of choosing. It's like, what kind of habits do I want to have? Well, they're mental habits, right? We say to ourselves, that will make me happy. And if it only lasts for a little bit, is that really happy? Now you're getting into Saints addiction. Now you're getting into my mentality where I was like, sure, I was drinking, laughing with my friends, but then I blacked out. Did it really even happen? It's kind of like, take a picture and post it on the gram, then everybody will believe you. I caught this really big fish. Did I? Or did I fish my brain up and pretend that I was happy, scrape myself off the fucking bed the next morning, throwing up in the toilet, binging? I was bulimic. Like, dude, you ain't never gonna get fucked more than a mind fuck, buddy. And instead of actually having sex, you're fucking your brain. You're fucking up your brain patterns, brain waves, and your brain vibe. And we are supposed to be in a happy place, not just a happy place. A safe place means that you're telling yourself good things. You're reinforcing it. You're going back into your brain and telling it what to do. I actually wrote some notes down that I would like to share with you from Napoleon Hill, saying the reverse. So it's your brain, and then you rewiring your brain to tell it something else. And once I'm done with this spliff, I'm gonna go and read it off to you. I always save the best for last, but it's so true. Some of that mental push-ups is to push back against the thought, right? If it was a negative thought, why does it take place in your brain? Why do you give it a home to make it not safe? And that's what it is. It's not so much that I look the part, it's that I am the part. I am that I am. I am affirmations, Neville Goddard, Napoleon Hill, all the people that pumped me up when I was starting to feel like, oh man, I ran out of money. I'm on my buddy's couch. I'm 45. I got, things aren't working out. I said, no ma'am, no sir. Let me pick up this phone and get to work. Let me call my guy for an hour and make sure that our business works. Let me get employees and make their employee packet correct. Let me work on our CRM, customer retention management system, and start moving my energy. I don't know. It's like it's a jet. Can't you see the private jets flying over you? It was just over here. Yes. That's what it is. It's a connection inside yourself. It's as if you said, this is the way I'm going to communicate in my brain. Instead of, I just wake up, it's impulses, how do I feel? Instead, I wake up and I start getting gratitude. I'm like, yes, I'm in a bed. Yes, I'm comfortable. It's such a blessing to have a business that keeps bringing me solutions and bringing me safety and bringing me opportunity instead of that other guy that was mad. He's on the couch. You know what I'm talking about. Or he's mad at life. Or you're mad about the past. Time doesn't give a fuck. Time is impartial. Time doesn't care about the feeling of it. It cares about the action of it. So it's like, can you take a feeling and turn it into action? Can you take a distraction and turn it into motivation? Can you be the type of person that can say, I'm going to fight against my consciousness and start telling my subconscious to do push-ups, push myself up, pull myself up, and make myself go after my definite ultimate aim. And that's what he kept talking about, a definite ultimate aim. And that's how you reprogram yourself. In case you didn't know, you got to re-aim yourself like a bow, just like that. Where am I going with this thought? Where am I going with this feeling? And pull that thunderbolt out of the sky. I was watching Immortals, and the bow had no arrow. It was just all energy. So as soon as he went to pull it back, a bow showed up with light, and he threw it at the wall and fought all the warriors and all that thing. But you got to pull the bow back. You got to pull and aim and make sure that it's your ultimate aim. Right? This is the thing about the brain. It's like, what is my ultimate purpose? Is it to drive over my hunger? Is it to drive over to a distraction? Is it to get myself away from that feeling? That's what most of us do. And it's not safe for you or me to say, this is how I feel, or is it to choose how I feel? It's the ultimate decision in someone's life is to say, you know what? I want to feel better. I want to be the type of person that can change my own direction, make my own mood work for me, instead of my brain being a battle zone that creates all the fear, all the excuses, all the distraction, and make me feel bad. Like I'm doubling down on my own stupidity. It's like I'm making myself, if you choose, you can make yourself happy. You can see things that are to be appreciated. You can start to enjoy the time that is passing. Use the time and the energy to say, I am going to aim at this direction. I'm going to put myself, what is my ultimate aim? It's not, what do I feel? And they were like, well, how do I feel? Well, shit, if you're human, you probably feel lazy. Was that gluttony? No, it's vanity. I watched a really cool Simpsons episode the other day, but Homer all of a sudden could play chess. I don't know if you've seen this episode, but part of him was to hide the other parts of him. And the guys that were behind him were like, what were they saying? He was like, is that you, Gluttony? And the versions of him was the fat version of him, right? All of them. There was Death. Right? Death was in there, envy, all of the 7 deadly sins that we are all capable and culpable of. They were all there waiting for him. They're like the 7 dwarfs that stand behind Snow White. You want to pretend like you're Snow White, but you got Dopey, Sleepy, and motherfucking Lazy sitting behind you, and you're like, get to fucking work. Put them motherfucking dwarfs to work. These little fucking feelings that we all have, and they don't work for us. They work against us. It's like, put them to work. You got anxiety? Fucking perfect. Time to go work out. You have, that's like David Goggins when he was talking to him. He's like, that's right. Keep coming. Keep coming. Keep coming. My knees have no ligaments. Keep coming. Keep it coming. All those things are trying to stop me. And I'm like, go ahead. Because those are the demons that I face. I look them in the face and I say, you know what? You have no place here anymore. In this brain has something to do. And when I was complimenting my friend Yoni, he's such a hard worker. And he said, it's just in me. I said, where'd you get your work ethic from? He said, I know it's not from your dad because his dad's lazy. He said, I always want to do my best. He said, I said, did you get it from sports? You know what I mean? He's like, maybe. But, in me, it's like, then I know I did my best. If it doesn't work out, then at least I knew I did my best. And that was him speaking in English from a fiendish brain. It was so amazing. It's like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about, baby. I'm talking about not being lazy. I'm talking about showing myself when I was on the phone with my Intersect.ai partner. I said, I'm not lazy. Let's get on it right now. 5-minute task, get them done. Don't just push them off. If you can do them in 5 minutes, just do it now. Take the power of your now and thank yourself later that you said, I didn't just sit there in my emotions, licking my wounds, my tail tucked between my legs. I got up, got in motion because motion creates emotion, and I changed my direction. I've now given myself an out instead of living within. I stopped making this a battle zone and I started making it an action. I actually started to take action with my feelings instead of saying, what do I feel? What's the end result after that? Okay, I feel lazy. Now what? I'm not lazy is what I tell myself, and then I get to work. Pretty simple stuff, but it's also whispers. Whisper, 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 whisper. It's the way you whisper. Shout out to Whisper Unlimited. That's my buddy Ryan. But, it's the whispers, you have to whisper back. You got to tell yourself, that's not the way I want to act. That's not the way I want to be. And that's not the way that I am. And the way that you are, I am that I am, it's the way that you say that you are. And it becomes that, it becomes that. So let me read some of this not Neville Goddard. It was Napoleon Hill. Go ahead. I'm going to read it to you. Let's see. Mari, the American Persicat, all the best. Someone just sent that to me. Hold tight. I'll read it to you because it was really good. So I wrote it down, but tell me, have you ever said this before to yourself? Let's look at it. And then here's what he says, I want you to tell yourself. So you're not ready. How many times have you said, I'm not ready? I'm not ready. I need more money. When I have a boyfriend, once I lose the weight, I'm not ready. You know what you say? I begin anyway. He talks about Thomas Edison not having the solution. He wasn't telling himself he didn't have the solution for the incandescent light bulb. He was saying, I'm finding a new way. It wasn't, this failed. It was, that doesn't work. What will work? Okay, so that doesn't work. Put that in the that doesn't work pile and keep going till something works. This is what you're doing with your feelings. You're putting your feelings to work. You're not just saying, I feel this way. I begin anyway. This won't work for me, right? Okay. How about I will make it work? Make it happen, Captain. That's what it is. That's what he was saying. He's like, I'm putting all my energy to make it a solution. And if I put the best of myself on it, then I will find a way. I will make it work. How about this is what he said. My definite chief aim is my only master. He wants you to have that as a mantra, as a success mantra for anybody that's ready to go after something. My aim is my master. Think about that. Like you literally say, where I put my energy goes is where I will flow. And that's where I will go. Where I set my mind is where it's meant to be, not where it's at, but where I'm going to be. I am that I am. I'm going to be this certain type of person. And then it says, decision is the sword that kills hesitation. So that's just it. That hesitation, that feeling, that zone, that little micro expression, that little micro feeling, that little quick second, the whisper, 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 you're going to say, decision is the sword that kills hesitation. Like if I decide, then I take control. If I exercise, then I can take control. Then if I breathe, then I take physiological control over my life instead of short breaths because I'm going through stress or we as human beings are the only mammals on the planet or animals that alter our breathing. When we are nervous around people, where we're not fully comfortable, when we get anxiety, we start doing our shortness of breath. And if we tell ourselves to breathe, then we take control of ourselves. Then we have physiological control over ourselves. Then we're shocked. And then we're there under the weights and go, shit, man, I did show up. The real version of me about a half hour ago was like, I don't want to go to the gym. I'm sore. I don't feel like it. And then next thing I know, I'm doing the workouts. It's like, what's his face was saying it, the Jason Lawler or whatever his name was. He said, I would just show up to the gym and play on my phone. I can play on my phone at home, but at least let me show up to the gym, because then people start hitting the weights, they're working out around me, and it makes me work harder. Same with my team. They were there ready to do it, had all the receipts. We started to do itemizing, the cost analysis, fixing the CRM, a full hour of work just to be like, okay, now when I was tired, now I can talk myself out of it. Just like my friend, I'm like, I got no time to take a nap right now. I was so tired, so high. All I wanted to do was just, no lie, anywhere. I could have slept on the floor. But I was like, give me a coffee. Let's finish art day. I started drawing. I got a buzz from art, a free buzz. I'm looking for a free buzz, not a fake buzz, a free buzz. And a buzz that comes with naturally from drawing or writing poetry or reading. These are free buzzes. But what do? We don't want to read, right? We want Netflix to entertain us, right? And this is what we do. We let something else distract us. And then when we're on the phones, we just like, not saying, hey, I want to be distracted. We're just like, I just want to chill. Right. And that's not saying what it actually is like, I'm in lazy mode, and say, I got things to do. I don't have time for movies. People are like, do you watch TV? I'm like, I don't even have time for it. I don't even know what to tell you about it, because I'm usually working on something. Me, my mentality, my breathing, my I am affirmations. I put it on almost like a task. It's like I'm working, and I got Napoleon Hill in the background saying, you got to overcome these things. Henry Ford, Thomas Edison. I mean, you're listening, if you do, to Napoleon Hill, to the man that actually interviewed Henry Ford, that actually interviewed Dale Carnegie, that actually interviewed who was the other one I was just talking about? Thomas Edison. He was alive during the era. Some of the biggest inventors and can-do guys that said they couldn't be a V8 engine. Henry Ford, make it anyway. You know what I mean? Like, make it anyway. Get it out of you. Don't just let it live inside of you. Don't let it threaten you and demerit you and make you feel less than. I promise I've been like that. Especially when you're low on money, that's when you need it the most. And you go, I am still the guy that shows up. I am the guy that doesn't matter if I have the solution, I'll figure it out. Figure it out. That's one of my shirts, but it's like, figure it out. Give yourself the opportunity to unlock what's inside of you. And then now you're out there. Now you change your trajectory. You're not going to meet nobody on the couch, but now that you're walking, you might meet your future wife. You might meet your future life. You might find the healthy solution that I was watching when I was driving past. This dude was on steroids trying to go to the gym, and I said, at least he made a commitment. You know what I mean? That's all it is. It's just like, I'm going to be here. Even if I don't feel like it, I'm still going to be here. I'm gonna show up in this position that I put myself in, instead of the way that I feel. So it's like, here's the way I feel. The chessboard's in front of me. Where do I want my feelings to be? What's my next move so I can be on that square instead of the square up here? You know what I mean? Like, you're living like a gabadosh. You got a head of concrete. Unlock it. Because I used to lock myself up. It's like, okay, well, maybe if I just try harder. Well, the try harder was in my thought pattern. It wasn't in how much more push-ups I did. It wasn't on how good I looked with my shirt off. It wasn't how much money I had in the bank. All that went out the window. I promise you, when I fell off that motorbike in Thailand, I didn't give a fuck about anything. I just wanted my life. My life, the one that gets to experience traveling the world and knowing people from different cultures and tasting different foods and making every day exciting. Like, I'm waking up in new Airbnbs, I'm waking up to new business opportunities, and I'm helping my brain out so that it can do the possible that's inside of the impossible. It almost seems impossible to say, hey, I feel this way, but anybody knows, like, you can watch a funny movie, you start feeling better. You call an old friend, you start feeling better. There's free endorphins everywhere, and everybody chases the synthetic dopamines. I'm on some, that shit didn't work for me. I wanted to be really happy. I'm so addicted to happiness that I searched it out through cocaine. It didn't last, doesn't work. Alcohol doesn't last, hurts me, doesn't work. Ecstasy pills, can't remember now, doesn't work. So if it worked, I would still be doing it. But since it didn't work, I put it to work. It's like, okay, you gotta go, bro. You can't be the habit no more. Sorry, man. Sorry, not sorry. Sorry, never sorry. You gotta go. We're here for things that work. You know, we're here for things that actually are good coping mechanisms and are positive affirmations and things that actually get me out of my funk instead of covering it up. So that's this morning's marijuana motivation. If you got anything out of this, you already know, like, share, subscribe below. But as always, peace and love and Chigathon. That means goodbye, but not forever and finish. And I will see you on the other side as soon as you like, share, and subscribe. But it's the other side of your fear. It's the other side of your excuses. And it's the other side of the world, because that's where I'll be and that's where I am. Peace. You can't see out there. I'll show you. It's a beautiful view. But that's this morning. I hope you get outside. We outside. And I hope you do something with your energy. You know, don't just let it be, but go out and see and experience with your own feelings that you chose, that you want, that are helpful. Ciao.